Awakening with Brahma Kumaris.
Welcome to Awakening with Brahma Kumaris. In our last session, we spoke about the power to turn within, a beautiful power that allows you to find space within yourself, just even for a few moments. Today, our topic is the power to pack up. And once again, we are delighted to have with us here Sister Jayanti, the European Director of the Brahma Kumaris. Om Shanti, Sister Jayanti.
Om Shanti.
You spoke very beautifully about the power to pack up. So here I am, turning myself within, waking up a little bit early in the day to find that space within myself. But I find that just turning within is not enough. Is there another dimension of spiritual power that I need to look for?
You're absolutely right, because sometimes we turn within and many thoughts of the past come rushing through. And so yes, we need to be able to develop more and more spiritual power inside ourselves and use this power in different ways in our life. It's the same power because we're connecting with the one above, the one who's the almighty authority, the one who's the reservoir, the source of all spiritual power. And we're drawing that power within ourselves and we're using it in different ways according to the situation and the need. And I also have to say that spiritual power is totally my own inner power over my own mind and personality and habits and patterns of behavior. It's not a situation of control over others or force over others or coercion, because power has always been abused in that external way.
Misinterpreted. So this power to turn within is a power whereby I am able to rein my own personality. If it's a peaceless personality, I rein it into a peaceful one. If it's an angry personality, I rein it and control it. It's all about self-control. Actually, I don't need to do anything to control other people with this power.
I can't. The reality is that I can't actually control anyone else.
Yeah.
You want to control your child and you'll find that they become rebellious. You want to control your partner and instead of coming closer, they become more distant. And so control outside actually doesn't work. But this is the power to be able to deal with myself and not just control, but it's more a question of transformation. So that it's, control will work for a short time. Then you remove the brake and it'll explode. But when I've transformed something, or another word is transmutation, when something has transmuted within myself and it's come to its highest state, then it's now a very wonderful experience. And so the power to turn inwards is one aspect of that power, and it's the fundamental one, the foundation one. But then further, when I see, as you said, these thoughts rushing in, then what I need to do is to learn to be able to pack my thoughts so that my mind isn't being flooded, but I'm able to pack the thoughts of yesterday or even what happened an hour ago and be present right here in the moment now.
So this is the power to pack up.
It is.
It's the power to pack up. What image can I bring that if I want to quickly use this power to pack up?
People travel a lot nowadays.
Travel light.
They tell you to travel light, but also just the fact that you're given a limited allowance and you have to decide what it is that's useful. And you've got a whole wardrobe, but you can't take it all with you. And so you have to be selective. And so what is it that's needed now for my journey at this moment? The rest I'll leave behind, but what I need to travel with, that's what I'll carry with myself. The rest is packed up and put away.
So you take what is needed for that moment, for that hour, for that journey. You spoke something very beautifully in connection with this power to pack up. You spoke about the idea of going upward towards God. Now, when I am sitting down, practicing my meditation, I'm turning within, I see and hear these thoughts in my mind. I say to myself, I need to be focused, I need to be calm, and yet I'm not able to do it. So I go towards God, who I now know is my Father. But I've noticed that instead of talking to myself or these thoughts talking to me, I am complaining to Him that, did you know this happened, and I was not able to control my anger. She said this and she said that. God, you tell me what I have to do now. You are my Father. I am your child. So I am turning within. I'm not dialoguing with myself, but I am complaining to Him.
And if I allow myself to listen to my Father, then my parent is going to tell me, sweet child, just be calm. Just sit quietly, because the difference between prayer and meditation is that in prayer, it's a one-way conversation. I'm speaking to the one above. But in meditation, I'm learning to create spaces of silence so that I can also listen to what my parent wants to say to me. It's like if you're on the telephone, if you're just speaking all the time, you're not giving the other person an opportunity to say anything to you, so you're never going to find any answers.
So, dare I say that when I turn towards God, He would respond, but I need to have a space of silence to catch that?
Absolutely, because if I'm just continuing with my chatter, whether it's complaints or requests or blame or whatever, I'm not going to be able to understand what it is He wants me to do. And so the whole practice of stillness, of turning inwards and creating that silent space within is to be able to give space so that I can listen to what it is my parent wants to tell me and be able to benefit from a conversation, not just a one-way flow, but a two-way conversation.
So this is a real experience.
Mm-hmm.
This is a real experience, and one that would make you want to go towards Him a lot more and strengthen your relationship with Him.
It's like if you go to a person who has a little bit of experience and a little bit of wisdom, you get some answers from them, you experiment with them in your life and you find them useful. Next time you feel, I should go to that person again. The same thing happens here. I'm connecting with the one above, I'm letting my mind be quiet, and there'll be something that reaches me that gives me a new insight, a greater strength, a greater capacity, and I find that it works in my life. I want to do the same again.
I see. Using the power to stay within and using the power to back up. We move from progression as the day moves on. You are now in front of hundreds of people, in front of your work colleagues, you are in a party, you are present there. They see your presence, but you're not there. You're not there.
It happens a lot. And what you have to do is to just let the mind focus here and now. The whole thing about the practice of meditation is understanding how my mind is working, and where we haven't taken the time and trouble to train our mind, then it's gone wild. And so it's not doing what I want it to do anymore. And now I have the information. I'm a soul. My thoughts are my creation. And so I come back inside. I remind myself, I am the creator of my own thoughts. It's not useful to be going to yesterday or to be thinking about tomorrow. It's important that I be here right at this moment and give whatever it is I'm doing my full attention now.
People have often spoken about this particular idea. Don't bring your work home. Or when you are home, don't bring your work home. And when you're at the office, don't bring your home to the office. Is it a wise way to compartmentalize your life so that, when you're in the office, you move back and say, I've packed up everything that happened at home, but I could be leaving a child that's not well, a husband's not feeling good, and I'm boxing that aside because now I have to be focused, career-oriented, get the work going through the day. Is this a useful tool that I can do to pack up?
I find that putting things in boxes is quite restricting, and it may work if everything is in order, but life doesn't behave in an orderly fashion. And so, like you said, it could be that I've left home, but I've left a child that's unwell. And I can only pack up if I've completed my responsibilities and my concerns, and I've made sure that there's somebody there with the child, taking care of the child. And so it's not that then I come here, now it's my career, and I don't care about that anymore. I'm human. And so yes, that was one role I was playing, but I'm still the same person. Even though it's a different role I play now, I'm the same person, the same human being. And so, yes, my concern would be that I stay focused on what I need to do now, here at work, but I've done what I needed to do there, but I stay in touch. It's great to have mobile phones, to have to use them when you can use them and in the right way. Not that they master your life, but they're a tool to help you do what you need to do. And so if your child needs for you to say a few words to comfort them, you don't say, that's it, I've left home, finish. You're here. But yes, at a moment when you have a space, then you phone and just ask and you inquire. I think that life has become very mechanistic today.
Yes.
And we put things
robotic, yes.
We put things in boxes too easily. And we think, well, that's finished, that's done, now it's this. But it's not like that. More, it's like a river that's flowing. And so, yes, there are different scenes that you're passing through, but it's the same water that's flowing through. And so what I have to be aware of is, yes, where I've come from is important, where I'm going is important, but where I am now is equally important. And so packing up means I've dealt with something properly in the way that I should, and not that I've cut off or I've ignored it, but I've completed what I needed to do, so that now I can focus at the present.
And I think you will give in your 100% energy, is it knowing that that's been dealt with and knowing that you can go back to it when you have the moment. It frees you very much to be in the present, isn't it?
Correct. And I was also going to say that I don't need to worry about the future. Yes, at the present moment, I can see the thread and the plans I need to make for tomorrow and the next year. It's not that I don't make plans. I have to do that too. But I don't allow it to take over my mind and worry about it. And that also gives me the space and the opportunity to do properly what I need to do now.
I want to jump slightly different. In using this power to pack up in relationships, it's not really easy. Because there are people who move in and move out of your lives. They leave you bad memories, they give you, grievances. They've also given you happiness. But we have more a tendency to remember those who have not done the greatest things for us, do not have, our best interests. When they come back into your life, when you meet them again and again, how do I use the power to pack up towards them? Maybe they have changed, maybe they have moved on, but how do I not see them the way they were or remember their mistakes and the pain that they have caused me?
What I've found is that if I'm turning inwards and I'm connected with that truth that is there within, and I look out of these windows and I look at them, not just in the context of what's happened in the past, but really in the awareness of the spiritual being that they are, I'm opening the possibility that there might be something new that can happen now in our interaction. But I'm also with my antenna up. And so I'm also very alert that if I've been cheated before, for example, I don't want to go through the same experience now. And it's quite possible that they're still very much the same in that way. But the factor of spirituality coming in and being able to pack up the past means that I can do both things. I can see them with a vision of hope and optimism and goodness, but I can also keep myself very alert so that then if things don't synchronize, when somebody speaks and you can feel whether it's from their heart or whether it's just the mouth that's speaking. And so there isn't a synchronicity that's there. And so if I'm spiritually aware and not letting the past influence me now, I'll be also able to pick up whether there is that synchronicity and whether our minds are moving in the same direction or whether there's still a divergence.
So I have to be able to trust myself, to be able to see them in that way. It's not going to be easy to let go.
If truly they've changed, then it'll reveal itself in the way they approach me. Maybe it'll be with a greater humility. Maybe it'll be with a greater gentleness. And if I'm convinced now through their behavior and what my own intuition is telling me at this moment that yes, there seems to be a very positive change now, then the past is finished, it's gone.
How, letting go of the past, the past is finished and gone is easy, but I mean, we say, let's just forgive and forget. But it's not always so easy to just forgive and forget, to let go of their past and see them in that. How do I use this when people say, oh, just forgive, forget, and move on?
For me, the question is, what is it that I am carrying inside myself? Because the whole focus of spirituality is what's going on inside of me. And that's not selfishness. That just simply means is that I'm holding myself responsible for what's going on inside of my own inner world. And if I have that responsibility of keeping things very clean, then I know that things are going to be okay. And so the job of cleansing is a daily process. And if I haven't forgiven, then I'm going to carry that burden, that dirt within me. Somebody said to a senior yogi that there are 4 people in my life who've hurt me a great deal. I've been able to come to terms with 3 of them and forgive them, but the 4th one, I'm going to carry that till the end.
So that's a decision that person took?
It is, and it's because they were so deeply damaged by that relationship, and so they feel at this moment of time that there's never going to come a moment when they can let go of that. And the yogi told them, that means you're going to carry that burden and that rubbish with you for how long? And is this what you really want to do? And if you've been able to let go of the things of 3 others, yes, this wound is deeper than all the others, but it's still poisoning you and it's impacting your relationship with others, not just your relationship with that one, but also with others, because you're carrying that within yourself.
This aspect of forgive and forget, I mean, it's not easy to do it. We have to try to do it. But at some point, if we carry it like how this individual is, it could be really damaging to your health, because it's not just your mental that's disturbed, or it's when you meet them that you're disturbed, but it affects your health tremendously.
It's a very big subject of scientific research of psychosomatic illness and how the psyche, the mind, affects the soma. And what they found is that, say for example, in a situation like cancer, they found that most people who experience this particular illness, they trace it back to maybe a couple of years, a year and a half, in which that person experienced some trauma in a relationship and they haven't been able to deal with it, and it's actually manifest in the way that the body is fighting itself. It's my mind that's fighting things, and it manifests as my body fighting itself also. So what you're saying is absolutely correct. And where the mind is able to take a jump and overcome those blocks and barriers, then there's actually the possibility of the disease being reversed. again, there's a lot of research that's been done on that in many, many case histories where there's now love that's come in, there's a generosity that's come in, there's forgiveness that's come in, and that's helped to heal the person. And of course, relationships are healed, but because the person has healed, the illness has also gone away.
So
now, this
it's like
is
a favor you're doing yourself.
right. I just wanted to add that I'm not saying that you just deal with the illness on that spiritual level. You must take the medication that you need to take. And so this isn't a replacement, but you're doing all of that, but you're also understanding the work that you need to do within yourself. And yes, absolutely correct, that if I want to be whole and heal myself, then the way is to be able to sort out, pack up the things of the past. There are lessons I can learn from the past, but having learned those lessons, I have to say enough is enough. I'm not going to allow this to interfere with anything in my life anymore.
So you take charge. By learning to talk to yourself like that, you now begin to take charge of your own control, of controlling yourself.
There's a situation that we find ourselves in today where we've forgotten to have self-conversations, to have the dialogue within. And this whole process of meditation and silence isn't emptiness, but it's firstly the dialogue with the self. The soul talking to the mind, to the thoughts and feelings. The soul talking to the conscience. The soul talking to its personality. And so when I learn to talk to myself and sort out what it is I have to let go and finish, and what is useful that I have to keep with myself, then my conversation with you is going to be filled with creativity and freshness. And where I haven't learned to have this dialogue within, there's continuous misunderstandings in our relationships with others. And so meditation means to talk to myself. It means to be able to talk to the divine so that then I can also listen and learn and move in a different direction. And then the communication out there is a sweet one.
You make it sound so easy. But I think it's getting clearer and clearer of how it is that we need to use the language on ourselves to be able to clean ourselves, to meditate better. I have one question with regard to the power to back up. I understand about using forgiveness and the importance of letting go and forgiving others and, looking at them with that vision. But sometimes I can't pack up or let go when I look at my past failures in my life. Maybe it's a failed relationship in terms of friendship, that I've never been able to make friends. Maybe it's just I've never succeeded being a cook. Maybe it's just something so simple, but it's this succession of failures that I can't let go of seeing. I can't pack it up, even though I'm trying to turn within. What should I do?
I have to recognize my own value and come back to my own state of self-esteem. And I do this in silence. Okay, so there are failures, but there's also successes I've had. But in silence, I look at my own innate goodness, my own original qualities, and I realize that I haven't been using these. And this is why I've met with failure. And so now, in the presence of the divine, I take that strength and that power and I say, I'm going to try again. And I don't allow myself to be limited by the things that have happened in the past. Why? Because there's a new chapter beginning in my life. I didn't know myself before. I didn't know the divine. I didn't know how to access my own inner treasures. So truly this journey is a new beginning, a new life, a new chapter. And so now I can do the things that I couldn't do before, but yet I'll be able to do them with that inner strength and authority. I've packed that up and I'm starting afresh. And there are many, many stories about this. You spoke about cooking. I know people who weren't able to cook. they weren't able to cook a cup of tea. And people like cooking tea sometimes, and they're just putting boiling water in the tea bag, but they like to cook their tea. And they didn't know how to do it. And today, they've been able to emerge those hidden talents that they didn't even know they had.
So they packed up their own vision of failures, bring forward with courage by using the technique of going inwards and developing this faith within themselves. Lastly, on this topic of the power to pack up. So here I am practicing turning within, learning to pack up about myself, learning to pack about other people. How do I earn the trust of others in me? For example, they are seeing me with the vision of my past. In the past, before maybe I started meditation, I was very arrogant, very rude, very angry. But I have transmuted, I have changed, I have transformed. I can't prove it to them. I can't convince them that I have changed. They are dealing with me, looking at me with the vision of the past. I've packed it up. They haven't. How do I earn that trust?
There's an expression that says that actions speak louder than words. And so I can't just say to them, believe me, I've changed. They're not going to believe me. But as I interact with them, they see that transformation, and I gradually win their trust again. You can't demand trust, but you can earn it through your actions today. And they'll be able to feel through your vibrations also what it is that's happened within you. And that really is a very wonderful way with which to serve others. When they see the proof of transformation in your life, they'll say, tell us, how did you do it?
Thank you very much, Sister Jayanti. I think this is going to be one of the first few of my favorite powers because it worked so much in reality. The power to turn within and the power to pack up. Thank you. As I learn to pack up, I realize the thoughts that come into my mind and I learn to keep them aside. I move my ideas, my feelings, and present them to God, the divine being. In that moment of my conversation with God, I actually space in silence. In that moment of silence, I can hear the divine voice that signals to me, that gives me hope and courage. In my regular and daily life, in my life that's career-oriented and action-packed, don't put your life in a box. Don't compartmentalize. You are you, playing different roles in every single part of the day. But it's the same water, like Sister Jayanti says, that flows. So be easy on yourself, deal with it at home, prioritize, and move on successfully to your day. Thank you for joining us today.
If you wish to discuss your problem or have a question to ask or want to know your nearest Rajyoga Meditation Center, call us on 099 99 744 555.
Om Shanti Om. I'm a peaceful soul. Om Shanti Om. I'm a peaceful soul. Ye Dwani Mangal Dwani hai. Om Shanti Om. This sound is a sacred sound. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. I'm a peaceful soul. Om Shanti.